Hello. Oh, I'm underneath this. Let's fix that. Hello. I'm now on top of the browser. Thank you all very much for joining today. Really excited to see you all. This is a stream I've been looking forward to a whole lot, and I'm sorry for the delayed start. I did a screw up of epic proportion about 5 minutes before the stream was supposed to go live, and so I had to delay 30 minutes. So thank you for your patience. I hope that has enabled most of you to still participate with the stream and to watch. Really excited to cover some things today that are new, that are exciting. And yeah, it's going to be really fun to get into this. So yeah, I like minutes before I was about to push the like go live button, I was copying some files over to the server where I was going to show some things during this stream, and I like completely fat fingered my copy command and like overwrote the world that I was actually like all set up to show with. So even people who professionally make Foundry Virtual Tabletop have technical screw ups 5 minutes before session that causes a delay. So if that's happened to you, you should not feel bad about it. It happens to all of us. But yes, I cursed loudly. So, anyways, now that large oof is out of the way, we are we are ready to get into the stream today. So, I'm Andrew. If you have not had a chance to join one of these streams before, I'm the creator of Foundry Virtual Tabletop. So, I will be the host today for this particular broadcast, which is focused on our content. So, exciting premium content that we are working on creating, that we're partnering to create. A few very special announcements that are going to come as part of today's stream. And so, yes, really just happy to have you all here with me. And I hope you find some things during the stream today that are interesting to you. And I'll also have maybe a giveaway somewhere in the middle of the stream. So if you want to try and win some free content, you should stick around for that as well. Yes. So, anyways, without further ado, we should go ahead and jump in because there's a lot of ground to cover. I like estimated how long I think this thing is going to take, and I figure it's going to be about 2 hours, but when the reality sets in, it may end up being more than that. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's go ahead and get to it. I want to start with a quick recap of anniversary week so far. So this isn't about content. I'll get to that content in just a moment, but we are in the middle of Foundry's anniversary celebration. And that celebration runs from the 22nd to the 31st, so we still have a few days left to go when lots of things are ongoing. There's lots of things happening in the Foundryverse, and there's lots of things on sale that you can purchase and get. And so I'm just going to give a quick recap of what some of those options are. So some things we did last week, I'll touch on in a moment. Today, of course, is our content showcase. Thank you very much for joining to watch this. And then tomorrow we have an Ask Us Anything on our unofficial community subreddit over at reddit/r/FoundryVTT. Love everyone over there, and our team is really excited to dig in and answer questions that you have over on Reddit for most of the day, starting at 11 Eastern. So a thread will be posted on Reddit a little bit beforehand. I'm not sure exactly how much beforehand, but a little bit beforehand, so you can start sort of preloading it with questions, and then we'll be going through the afternoon answering whatever you throw at us, whether they're serious and penetrating, hard-hitting questions or whether it's sort of silliness. I think our team is looking forward to a wide range of just engaging with you there. And then same thing on Wednesday, except the venue will be different. It'll be in Discord. We're going to have a dedicated channel set up for the Ask Us Anything in Discord, again, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern. And there's not a set end time. It'll just be sort of like when we run out of steam and when there's no more questions to answer. And so, yeah, that'll be on Wednesday. So if you're more active on the Discord than on Reddit, this will be a chance for you to engage with us there. Thursday is a day of rest, although we might figure out something to do impromptu. I don't know, but currently unscheduled on Thursday. And then Friday, we wrap up Anniversary Week with another stream here on Twitch with our Free Project Friday team live stream, which is going to be the whole team gathered together to hack around in Foundry and to make some crazy shit, like stuff that some of it will make sense, some of it won't, but we're gonna have at it anyways, and we're gonna make some crazy stuff. Whatever sparks our enthusiasm and passion, that's what Free Project Friday is all about. And there's sure to be some laughs and some fun things and cool things that come out of it, because ultimately the team's very talented, and it's very impressive what the team can pull together on sort of short notice. So I hope you enjoy joining us for that on Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, the anniversary sale that we have running throughout this whole period lasts until 9 p.m. on that last day, Friday the 31st. So during that sale period, it is your chance to get a discount on Foundry Virtual Tabletop software licenses, 20% off. If you've been waiting to buy Foundry, this is the best moment that you'll have. Or if you want to pick up an extra license to give to a friend who's been kind of on the fence, it's a great time to give the gift of Foundry VTT. We also have 20% off our own first-party content of Demon Queen Awakens and House Divided over this same period. Both of those are awesome. I'm going to comment on them a little bit later in the stream. And we have a whole gamut of publisher partner sales that are ongoing throughout the week. And so just to recap those very quickly, all of these publishers have premium content for Foundry VTT on sale as well. And so there's an article on our website that you can get to from the homepage that lists all of these sales. So if there's anything that you are thinking about picking up, this is a great time to do it. So AAW Games on their web store, Bailey Wiki on Patreon, Cubicle 7 on their web store for Warhammer, Fantasy Roleplay, Wrath and Glory, and Soulbound, Dragon's Horn, Amazing Adventures for 5th edition and for 3.5 from Dragon's Horn, Elder Brain, again, Adventures and other content, Goodman Games, DCC and other titles, Immaterial Plane, backstory cards, specifically discounted on drive-thru. Kobold Press with Tome of Beasts 1, Tome of Heroes, Book of Ebb and Tides, all on sale from their web store. Legitimine Games with some new stuff from their web shop, Lion Banner, on specific map packs, as well as their Hellwatch and Colossus Gods adventure modules. Paizo has all of their stuff on sale, although I think today is the last day for the Paizo sale, because their sale dates are not the full Foundry anniversary period. Their sale dates are for PaizoCon. So be sure, if you're thinking about picking up any of this premium Paizo content, to get on that today, because this is the last day for the PaizoCon sale. Good friends at Pinnacle have content on sale through June 4th, at which point there is going to be a pricing change. So if you're thinking about Savage Worlds stuff, get it while it's hot. This is a great time to act if you're interested in Savage Worlds. Ripper93 on Patreon, a good discount on some months free off of an annual sub. Silver Games, Pony Finder, and other things on sale, Drive-Thru RPG. Ulysses Spieler on The Dark Eye. I see some people waiting for my German. Das Schwarze Auge. I don't think that was any better than last time. I think that was on par with last time. Wise Gaming, new edition with some stuff on sale on Ko-Fi. So yes, so all of these things are on sale right now. Act fast while they are still hot and discounted to get some of this great stuff from our publisher partners while the anniversary is still on. And thanks in chat, Nath, for those links. All right, so that's a quick recap of where we are in our anniversary schedule. Another thing that I can point out quickly before we move on is that earlier in the week we posted our annual year in review article. It's a bit of a read, and so if you're, take your time, but if you love things Foundry and you want to know more about what we're doing and what we're all about, we really took our time to write down, I think, some really interesting thoughts in this article. Again, it's also linked from our homepage. If you want to read through our year in review, it has a lot of interesting insights, reflection on how the V12 process went, some comments about how our business and community and platform and team are all growing, insights from the opt-in usage data that we started collecting in V11 that is some really interesting insights about like how people are using the platform, systems they're playing, modules they have installed, some really cool sort of insightful data there that you can peruse. Reflection on some of our big achievements over the past 12 months, and then also a little bit of teasing of looking ahead towards V13 rather, and some other upcoming content. So on that note, V13, the Patreon poll for the V13 feature vote is now up and active. It looks like Token Drag Measurement is holding a narrow lead, but there's 11 days left in the poll. And you can read all about the poll options on our website. There's an article about the V13 Patreon feature vote. You can read about some things that we're planning already for V13, as well as some options that you have to vote between if you are a Patreon supporter. So lots and lots of stuff ongoing, things that you should check out, things that are active, and opportunities for you to engage with us or to weigh in or to affect the way that we approach future Foundry content and all sorts of stuff. So I wanted to give that kind of overview tour of those things that are ongoing. And now that that's done, I think we can get into the content for this stream, which is all about special content that is being created and announcements of some new content. So thanks everyone for bearing with me during that initial exposition. I'm going to go ahead and switch gears into the first section of our content announcements stream now. And we're going to start with none other than our amazing Pathfinder content, which we're doing some really excellent things in the PF2E realm, and want to talk with you all about what's going on there, what's coming up next, what we've done recently, as well as to give you a couple of heads up on some things that are coming your way with our partnership with Paizo and the content that we're making for Pathfinder. So let me pop over here to this Pathfinder world where I've imported Kingmaker, which is a truly spectacular and comprehensive module for Pathfinder. So it's the biggest thing we've ever made. And I think it's one of the absolute biggest pieces of RPG content that's out there. So with Kingmaker, you get all of this stuff, the entire campaign, but like we've really gone above and beyond what is published in the book to make a digital experience for playing Kingmaker that is really exceptional. And so I'm going to comment a little bit on that, and I'm going to comment on some things that are upcoming. So let me pull up my outline so that I stay on target here. So start, and let me know if this little background music's a little bit too loud, or if I need to adjust it. Just give me some guidance on chat. And you know what, I'll pull this back up while I talk so that in case people missed it, they can read more about what Kingmaker contains. I'm playing some audio from our good friend Ian at Tabletop RPG Music in the background. So to get started talking about Pathfinder, I want to talk about compatibility, and I want to talk about version 12. So, as you know, V12 of Foundry VTT just hit stable, and that means we're currently in a flurry of activity with regards to compatibility for different things. Now, I've got some very good news to report on the Pathfinder front. The first is that the system devs of the Pathfinder system have done a very excellent, superlative job of getting the system ready for V12. It currently has a beta release candidate that you can install if you're on V12. I'm running it right now. It's 6.0.0 beta 2. And it is compatible with V12. It is still a beta release, but you know, that's just giving the system devs a little bit of time to make sure that everything is buttoned up and working exactly the way they want before they call it a non-beta release. But if you are eager to dive into V12 on Foundry, the Pathfinder 2 system is already compatible with that beta release. And some good news on the compatibility front for our own first-party modules that we have made is that the beginner box, abomination vaults, the hero deck, the token pack, and very soon to be Kingmaker have all now already had V12 compatible releases. Kingmaker will be the last one to come. I'm running it locally, the V12 compatible version, but that compatibility release is not out yet until later today or maybe tomorrow. But Cora from the community has done a great job of making sure that those are all compatible. An important note from TickAle that the PF2 system 6.0 beta does not have Howl of the Wild content in it yet, but that will be coming soon once the mainline PF2e release and the 6.0 beta release for V12 eventually get merged. So all of our first-party content, Beginner Box, Abomination Vault, Hero Deck, Token Pack, Kingmaker, all compatible with version 12, although the Kingmaker release, as I said, will be coming later today or tomorrow. Now, what I want to emphasize is that those are what we're going to call compatibility updates, meaning they bring the content up to a point where you can use it in V12 with all of the features that it had previously. Now, there's a distinction between that compatibility update and what I'll call a feature update, which is when we're going to go through and add lots of the new functionalities that Foundry VTT version 12 has. So we're going to start with that feature update for the beginner box. And the beginner box of V12 feature update is going to be happening... audio nudge. The beginner box V12 feature update is going to be something that we're working on in June, and we expect it will be out hopefully sometime in June. And that's going to add things like scene region support to the beginner box for some additional automation. It's going to take advantage of some other new V12 features like scene ambience, perhaps environmental audio effect filters, who knows, embeds in the journal entry, anything that we think merits update to the beginner box. That V12 feature update will be coming in hopefully June, maybe July. We'll see exactly how long it takes, but that's going to be the first one up that gets the feature update treatment for us. Now, in terms of compatibility, Kingmaker that I'm showing here is in a V12 compatible state, and I can show you all some of the amazing things that Kingmaker has, because it's been a little while since we did this stream, and one of the things that we did in the earlier part of this year is we got the remaining parts of Kingmaker all released. So parts 1, 2, and 3 are all now out. And some of the real highlights of that is the settlement building functionality. So I can show an example from the Kingmaker strategy maps here of some example settlements. I'll pull in, actually already imported it. I'll activate this example Metropolis. So the way that the settlement building functionality works in Kingmaker is it has all of these amazing maps that are sort of base templates for settlement building in a forest, mountain, plain, or swamps biome, all kinds of different like configuration for what the terrain is like in terms of like, is there water on the side, or is there, land, like what's the shape of the terrain? Is it surrounded by forest or not? And when you're in this settlement building interface, there's a beautiful structures browser. We have wonderful artwork, little structures artwork, and these maps are from Kaora, who works directly with our team on a number of things, but contributed in a crucial way to this part of the Kingmaker release. Look at all these amazing buildings that you can construct, each of which is drawn in a consistent art style, and it's kind of like a Build-A-Bear for your settlement. And they all have functionality too. So if I say choose the university and I create the structure, then that creates an actor in the world with this university structure, and I can place it, I can rotate it, I can put it wherever I want, and it also has functionality because this structure is we went with the merchant actor type in the Pathfinder system, which is probably the most helpful one for these buildings to be, because it allows each building to have like its own inventory and like list of items and like amount of coinage, or like you can use this functionally to say like, oh, the university has like this or this or this. You could switch it to like a loot actor if you don't need the merchant function. But yeah, each building can have its own sort of tracked internal data as well, and that kind of allows the efficacy of tracking of like how the settlement building can work to kind of really push beyond what's easy to do the way that the book itself is just written. You know, no disrespect to Paizo or the creators, but you know, it's just so much to keep track of. There's already a lot to keep track of on the settlement level, and so this system allows you to have like a lot of a more engaged and immersive time creating your city, creating your towns, and of course not just one, because in Kingmaker you can have multiple settlements. So across the course of the adventure you might have multiple settlements in different locations, and each one can have a different buildings configuration and different tracking data. So amazing stuff with the settlement building. Also, the strategy maps for Kingmaker are used for army warfare, or they can be. You don't have to. You can be a little flexible with exactly how you want to play out army warfare. But suppose I like go to one of these like swamp maps and activate it. These are sort of base templates for like parts of terrain where you could act out one of the army warfare encounters in the Kingmaker system. And so, for example, I'll go to Chapter 7, Blood for Blood, minor spoilers here, but very minor. You can imagine I'll grab some of these different units, Troll Marauders and Town Guard and Gnarl March Hunters, and each of these units has a special army sheet in the system that tracks their system-specific mechanics for exactly how army warfare works in Pathfinder, and they track the basic war actions you can do, the different tactics that different units have, and so everything for Kingmaker, army tactics, the armies, everything is in here and automated so that you can actually play out the warfare mechanics from Kingmaker in a way that's easy to track and easy for the game master and easy for the players to follow. So like we've really gone above and beyond to take these supplementary systems out of the Kingmaker book and implement them in the virtual tabletop in a way that allows you to play this Kingmaker campaign in a way that's really like faithful to the intention of the book, but honestly just easier to do out in practice, I think. So yeah, there's some comments on Kingmaker, and of course, in addition to that, Kingmaker includes the complete Kingmaker adventure, start to finish, which is a truly remarkable and exceptionally comprehensive adventure with amazing maps, amazing music. We partnered with Paizo to bring the music from the Owlcat RPG into Foundry itself to further supplement and support the Kingmaker adventure. And so, yeah, there's really amazing stuff. The comprehensiveness of this is just great. But moving on from there, I want to talk about what's coming up next for Paizo content. So Kingmaker is what we've just finished, and then what are we moving on to? Well, as you know, we did the Bestiaries token pack, which is one of our most popular additions to Pathfinder, the Bestiaries token pack that allows you to have access to a huge number of actors, creatures in Pathfinder. But we have not stopped there, because while the Bestiaries token pack gives you access to a huge number of monsters that are in Bestiaries 1 through 3, what about all of the characters that you need to interact with over the course of a campaign? We wanted the flexibility that we get with the Bestiaries token pack, the comprehensiveness of having all of the Bestiaries available at your fingertips. We wanted that same experience for non-player characters, so that you can populate your world with really rich NPCs that have a huge variety that can be used for characters you interact with or your player characters. And so we are currently at work on a module that we call the NPC Gallery, and I have a sneak preview of it here for you. I'll open it up. This gallery at the moment has about 100-something NPCs in it, but the final product is going to be much more ambitious, probably getting close to around 1,000 different non-player characters, each of which has portrait artwork. So suppose I import here the apothecary, bring this apothecary in. Each character has portrait artwork for the NPC. It also has subject artwork designed specifically for our new V12 dynamic token ring. So when I put this on the map, let's see, maybe I need to enable that ring. Still work in progress, but the dynamic token ring now is getting set up to support the core token ring with this Pathfinder Bestiaries functionality, and that core token ring lets you do things like customize the background color, customize the ring color, give it a special look, give it a special feel, and each of these tokens of this beautiful Paizo NPC artwork that they've created over the years, each of these can now be brought in as a dynamic token using the dynamic token rings feature. And so there's going to be, honestly, hundreds, if not getting close to 1,000 of these different NPCs that have phenomenal artwork that makes it easy for you to find exactly the character that you need for the right storytelling moment, whether it's for playing a pre-published adventure path or whether it's for homebrew and you just need to, get a burglar or a thief right at the last moment so that you can spontaneously do a little bit of role play. Having all of that at your fingertips is going to be amazingly powerful. But it's only going to be amazingly powerful if you can easily find the artwork that you're looking for. So not only is this bestiary NPC pack this NPC gallery going to be entirely populated with close to 1,000 NPC tokens, but there's going to be a user interface specific to this product that makes it easy to search, easy to filter, and easy to discover artwork that's appropriate based on a set of tags that are applied to each image. So you will be able to, say, look for like elf, female, sword. I don't want to overpromise exactly what the UI is going to be, but something along those lines. And you'll be able to find a set of artwork that conforms to those tags so that you can find something quickly to use, whether it's for a player character that needs a token for their own character, or whether you need to quickly find an NPC for use in your game. And moreover, just like the Pathfinder Bestiaries token pack, the 1,000 NPCs and this browsable experience that it offers is not going to be exclusive to Pathfinder 2e. We recommend it for Pathfinder 2e, but this product is going to be system agnostic, so you can use this amazing artwork and you can use this amazing tokens for this artwork in whichever system you happen to be playing. If you're playing Blades in the Dark or Savage Worlds, you'll be able to use all of these NPCs. If you purchase the pack, you'll be able to use all of these NPCs and all of these tokens in whichever system you would like. So it's going to be like the value of this product is going to be exceptional because it's harnessing the amazing breadth and quality of Paizo's library of NPC artwork in a way that allows you to use it in your games. And yeah, so that's something we're incredibly excited about. And as I mentioned, it uses the new core dynamic token ring feature, which has lots of awesome capabilities attached to it. So for example, I can do a quick demo. Now, eventually, I suspect that this feature will be integrated into the Pathfinder system in some way. However, for the time being, you can see, like, here's an example of some ways that, like, the token ring can have an animated color attached to it, and I can change that up to get a different color. Can have, like, a gradient attached to it that kind of circles just for extra flair, extra style. It can be set up in a way that that ring kind of flashes or pulses when certain actions happen, like when someone gets targeted or when you take damage. So for example, I'll do on this one, like here's like a sort of green pulse, green flash that can happen, or like a sort of rainbow gradient or solid color. There's all kinds of different styles and techniques that can be used to make these tokens like customizable and interactive. Oh, and they also affect, they also involve filter effects as well. I hope this works in the Pathfinder system. I'm not actually entirely sure if there's like an invisibility effect somewhere. Maybe it needs a touch of Pathfinder system integration, perhaps, in order to work. But there is an invisible filter that can be applied to these as well. And possibly some new effect filters in the future as well. So yeah, incredible scope on this token pack. It's going to be available later this year. We don't have an exact time frame to announce yet. It is going to be more of a like later this year, hopefully Q3, but I don't really want to put a specific date on it because it is a lot of work to do, both to create this many tokens with all of this functionality, but also the gallery UI for the searching, the browsing. And it's going to be really exciting when it comes out. And also because it uses the dynamic token ring, the ring itself, one of the coolest things here is that the ring itself can be swapped. So, you know, instead of like the default Pathfinder ring, if you're playing a different AP, all of these tokens could be rendered using like whatever the signature stylistic AP is, ring is for that particular adventure path. If you want like all of your tokens to have a certain look and feel, swapping out that ring allows to make sure like all of your characters, all of your NPCs within your world have a consistent aesthetic that is tailored to the story that you're telling, whether it's more sci-fi or more fantasy. Being able to easily swap those rings out is really, really powerful. I see some great questions in chat about like, will the tokens bestiary be updated to work like that? And I probably wasn't planning to announce this today, but I guess you've coaxed it out of me with that question. We will at some point do that. It's going to be tough to figure out the prioritization of that because there's lots of things we want to do, but I can at least commit that at some point we will revisit the legacy. It's still a very active and very valuable product, but we will revisit the bestiary's token pack and we will update it so that it integrates with these token rings as well. So on the Pathfinder front and on the tokens front, whether it's for Pathfinder or for any other system, there's some really amazing and really exciting things happening on the Foundry side of things. And these dynamic tokens is something that only Foundry can do, and it's something that works so well once you get used to it, once you get used to the capabilities of the dynamic ring system, and once the Pathfinder system developers go wild, and I know they will go nuts with building amazing special effects into this token ring API for things like taking damage or having status effects or targeting or whoever knows what else. I can't wait to see where the system development team takes this framework and functionality in the future. All right, so I think that covers the big announcements that I have on the Pathfinder side of things. Of course, there are additional Pathfinder adventure paths that are coming out regularly. So, you know, I think the latest one, oh gosh, I'm mind blanking. Howl of the Wild, or oh goodness, I should really, someone in chat save me. What's the latest one that's coming out like right now? That's coming out from our partners at Paizo and Metamorphic Studios. Wardens of Wildwood, thank you. Wardens of Wildwood is dropping momentarily. Howl of the Wild is the corresponding rulebook. So yes, definitely that's another really exciting thing happening in the Paizo sphere that you can get your hands on from our partners over at Paizo. All right. Spartan says to drag out the Acrobat or the Hunter Atropos. Oh, all right. I have to check this out. I assume it's just the Hunter and not the Hunter Atropos, although if there is a character in here named Hunter Atropos, I'm going to be very excited. Let's see. We've got... I don't see a Hunter. I don't see... Oh, there's a Hunter. Okay, yes. Someone wants to see the Hunter. I need to make sure to turn on the ring, though. Eventually that will be automatic. You won't have to do this yourself. Oh, it's a little bit large. It needs a scale correction for this one, because this is an oversized token ring. So we'll have to show that one once it has the correct scale correction applied to it. What was the other one that someone wanted me to show? Acrobat. I don't know. This one might also... I don't know if this one also is one that needs a scale correction. We still have to go through and apply those final scale corrections in cases where the artwork is oversized relative... Yeah, this is another one where the artwork is oversized relative to the ring. So this is not what it will eventually look like. I've been duped. I've been duped into showing ones that aren't ready. You got me. It's okay. We will do it next time. But yeah, amazing that there's going to be so many different token options in the system for this, and I hope you're all very excited by that. Okay, moving on then to our next announcement. I think this is a good moment for us to get the first special announcement out of the way for today. So we have two very special announcements for this stream that are things that you'll be finding out about for the very first time. And this is a great moment to go ahead and get to the first one of those. So this is one that may be a little bit unexpected, and it's not so visual yet. It's more an important announcement for the future of the Foundry VTT ecosystem overall. So there's not going to be a lot of visual flair with this one, but it is a really important and I think momentous occasion that I'm very excited to announce that later this year there will be an official marketplace for Foundry Virtual Tabletop. And that's something that many of you have been eager for and excited for a very long time. The URL is foundryvtt.store, and this official marketplace is something that we are building in partnership and in collaboration with our good friends at Metamorphic Studio to operate and to maintain. So Metamorphic is one of the longest serving creative partners in the Foundry VTT space. They're very devoted to our platform and to our product, and we're working with them directly to build this marketplace and operate it. And their studio is going to provide a lot of the horsepower for getting premium content onto this platform from your very favorite publishers, ones that already publish for Foundry VTT, but also ones that in the future can begin to publish for Foundry VTT once this store is operational. So really excited that this store is going to be a centralized location for premium content, both from all of the publisher partners that already exist, or some, maybe not all, but the publisher partners that already exist for Foundry, independent creators, Patreon creators, any sort of premium content that Foundry VTT already supports can be sold on this marketplace. Now, it's up to the creator whether they want to do that. It's not going to be something that is forced upon anybody. We will still continue to support publishers selling their own content on their own web stores, selling their own content on Patreon. You can still go through our existing systems. You don't have to use this marketplace, but it's something that will be available to all creators to take advantage of. And some of the most exciting features and functionalities of it is that it's going to be a very rich library of content from talented creators and publishers all around the world. It's going to have a key emphasis on discoverability, with search and discoverability made really powerful via intuitive search, an extra layer of informative tags and metadata attached to each piece of content on the marketplace that makes it easier to find things. It's also going to have tailored recommendations based on the library of content that you already own, so that it can make informed suggestions to you about what you might be most excited about. It's going to have a key emphasis on showing the features of each product. So on the package pages for each product on the store, we're going to put a lot of, oh yeah, ominous music. Let me make it less ominous. This is not a scary announcement. Let's go with something a little bit more upbeat. On the package page, it's going to have a real emphasis on showing what's in each piece of content, and that's another service that our great friends at Metamorphic are going to help provide to help create and manage more media about each of the pieces of premium content, so that you can really get a sense of like what exactly is in something that you're thinking about purchasing. And another really important note here is that it's going to be fully integrated with foundryvtt.com. So single sign-on using your foundryvtt.com account. You're not going to have to register a different account. You're going to sign in using your existing Foundry VTT website credentials, and it's going to have a fully integrated keyless kind of direct access to your content. So when you purchase something on the marketplace, you're not going to have to worry about any sort of like key that you have to go and punch in anywhere. That content's going to be automatically integrated with your Foundry VTT account, so that it will be available to you in your game environment without any barriers. So it's going to make it so much easier to discover premium content, so much easier to purchase premium content, and I think just better overall shopping experience that should make it a lot easier for all of you to find what you're looking for and to get some amazing stuff from there. So yeah, that is the big announcement, is that there will be a marketplace and it's going to be launching this fall. So not too long to wait. This is just a sort of coming soon page, but the actual work to develop this marketplace is much further along. We're just not showing it on the stream today, but this project has been, underway for quite a while. So the actual marketplace itself is well into development, and it's going to be coming online later this year. So hope that's something that makes you all excited, or at least that you can see the value of, and it's going to be really exciting to have that up and running. I'm not going to do too many questions today because there's a lot of ground to cover, but I will answer a couple. In terms of a question about Drive-Thru-RPG, so Drive-Thru-RPG will continue to be supported, but it is an alternative venue for where content can be sold. We will be kind of recommending this marketplace as the official solution that we will steer creators towards as kind of the preferred place, but it is up to each publisher and each creator where they want to have their content sold, and that content can be sold from multiple places, so it's not exclusive. You can have your content on this marketplace, but you can also have it sold elsewhere as well. I'm not going to talk about pricing or royalty splits or anything like that, but our good friends at Metamorphic are eager to work with interested creators on onboarding. So if you're a creator or a publisher and you're interested in learning more, there is a sign up here on this landing page, and the call to action here would be for you to get in touch if you're not already, and to learn some more information and make work hopefully towards being part of the first wave of content that's available on the store when it goes live later in the year. The URL, once again, is foundryvtt.store. I should figure out a way to put that in chat, but maybe someone, moderator, can drop it in the Twitch stream, foundryvtt.store. And it's nothing but this coming soon page right now, but once the marketplace launches, this is where you will find it. So you can go ahead and preload your bookmarks. All right, so that was big announcement number one. Since there's not much of a visual component to this, I don't think there's anything else I'm going to cover here. So this is an ideal moment for me to go ahead and set up the next stage of today's stream by switching my world over to the D&D side of the fence. So we talked about Paizo and our excellent content partnership with Pathfinder. First, now we're going to talk a little bit about things on the D&D side of the fence, and then there's more coming after that as well. So to go ahead and jump into the D&D side of things, I'll get some music going here. Adjust the volume. Sip my coffee. Excellent. All right, let's talk D&D. On the D&D side of the fence, we've had some very exciting things happen recently, and I'm going to bring you up to speed on them. So the first and foremost is the D&D system version 3.2 is out now, and that system version features joint compatible support for both V11 and V12. So regardless of whether you're using Foundry Virtual Tabletop version 11 or version 12, D&D 3.2 is the one that you want for all of the latest and greatest stuff. That system update is now available, and I can comment on some of the cool stuff that it provides. For the most part, it provides baseline compatibility for Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, which is our big piece of premium content release announcement that happened earlier this week. So music is too loud again. Sorry about that. In case you did not notice this or hear about it, the big announcement from earlier this week is that Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is available now on Foundry Virtual Tabletop. So through our official partnership with Wizards of the Coast, the first thing that we released through that partnership was Phandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk, an amazing adventure, but Tasha's is the first official rulebook that we have published under that partnership, and we chose it because it's a rulebook that we think is an exceptional value, both for people playing D&D today, as well as playing D&D in the long term. So the subclasses in Tasha's, the features in Tasha's are ones that are going to be a bit evergreen. As many of you know, there are some things changing in the landscape of D&D later this year. We'll talk about that in a moment. But Tasha's is a choice that we've made confidently, feeling confident that it's a purchase that will remain fresh and remain current, not just later in the year, next year, but onwards from there. So that's why we chose this one. I think it's the rule book that we wanted to do that could give you really amazing new character options right now that would still be character options that you will want to use a year from now. So that's a huge announcement for us, and I'm going to talk more about what Tasha's includes in a moment. But the system also includes a bunch of really cool new features, an enchantments system, new functionality for different types of roles to support different types of subclasses, continued updates and compatibility and polish, new modes of advancement, character progression to support new types of character advancement decisions. And so regardless of whether you're using premium content or not, the D&D 3.2.0 system is really amazing new update that I encourage you all to pick up at your earliest convenience. So from there, let's go ahead and get into Tasha's and some of the amazing stuff that it includes. So I have imported Tasha's into this world, or rather just activated Tasha's in this world. And so in your compendium sidebar, there's a folder for Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, lots of stuff in here. I'm going to start with just the basic rulebook entry. And so this is the table of contents of the rulebook, fully available and fully digitized. Now, all of the content of Tasha's is available in here. Of course, the Artificer class that you can't get anywhere else, as well as a large number of subclasses for all of the other core rulebook classes. And so each of these subclasses has their full class details, artwork, features, rules content, everything else implemented in beautiful and easy to read journal entries that makes it really easy to take advantage of and use this content. All of the additional rules content both for players as well as for game masters. Now we made the decision to split a little bit of the content in Tasha's into two different sections. So the Tasha's Cauldron of Everything compendium is one that's designed to be sort of safe for your players to read. There is a DM specific subsection of Tasha's that we've framed as Tasha's Dungeon Master Tools that has additional rules for DMs specifically, and those are factored out into a separate compendium so you can control what it makes most sense to be available to your players versus what's more DM focused. And so all of this additional excellent content for Dungeon Masters is also fully implemented and easy to use in TCOE. It's really, really cool. Amazing artwork, amazing, honestly amazing content, really useful, really great stuff. Now that's just the tip of the iceberg because that's just the rules content itself. We were also able to include some supplementary rules because they were immediately relevant for Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and those are the full set of firearm usage rules, which is of course relevant to Artificer. And those rules, of course, have really beautiful rule tooltips for things that show up throughout the content that makes it really easy to keep in mind, what does it mean for me to need to reload my weapon? Goodness. Music volume got me again. Okay. Thank you, folks. Sorry about that. So the full firearm rules are part of it. And then additional social interaction rules, which are also relevant for the Tasha's content, which is some extra bonus content that you get from the Foundry VTT version. Sidekicks are also implemented, which is something that's really exciting for many of you, and I'll show that in a moment. And then in addition to that, of course, the full set of character creation options that makes Tasha's such a valuable supplement for you to have at your table. So I'm going to show a little bit of what that involves. In the Tasha's compendium, there's a big section of character options, everything for the Artificer, subclasses for Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, and onwards. And each of these subclasses has their full set of features implemented, advancement mechanics, all of the features, all of the things that you would get for being a bard, an eloquence bard, or a wild magic barbarian, or a phantom rogue, or any of the other subclasses that are featured here. In addition to that, it also supports actors and items, a huge set of value there. So there's an items compendium in Tasha's that has lots of items related to firearms and ammunition, but also a huge collection of additional magical items that are available to use in game, as well as the whole tattoos system, which I'm going to show more about tattoos in a moment. Next thing I'm going to survey, and this is a little bit of a whirlwind tour, but let's talk about character progression and character advancement. The Tasha's Ranger is something that is a key innovation for that class, and so those of you playing the Ranger, the Tasha's Ranger has special handling in particular, and so I want to show what that looks like. When you create a Ranger by just using the Ranger class from the base system compendium, some new things happen now if you have Tasha's Cauldron of Everything installed. So if you have Tasha's installed, when you're creating your Ranger, and I'll choose my additional skill proficiencies, and then you get to a step of character creation where you choose which set of Ranger features you want to use for this Ranger. So, for example, instead of taking Natural Explorer, I could take Deft Explorer and also get Canny. Instead of taking Favored Enemy, I could take the new Tasha's Favored Foe feature instead. And so using those selections, you get the Tasha's Ranger available, and this goes beyond just level 1 as well. So if I were to level up this Ranger to, say, 10, then what happens as I'll just take average hit points each level. But as I'm advancing the Ranger, I'm getting these Tasha's optional features available to me. Now I can opt out of them if you don't want to take any of the Tasha's optional features. Also, as a game master, under the settings menu, you can configure whether it should be allowed for players to choose Tasha's optional features at all. So if you don't like the Tasha's optional features in your game, you can disable them full stop for game masters on the settings menu. And then for a player, when you're leveling up, you can choose which of these optional features are ones that apply to me based on the one that you're, discussion with your game master, basically. So continuing to level up, every once in a while you'll reach a point where if you have Tasha's, you make a choice between the SRD Ranger feature versus the new TCOE Ranger feature. And so like I could take Primal Awareness if I want to play more of the like Tasha's Ranger functionality. I didn't give myself initial ability scores, but that's okay. You get the idea that this features into your Ranger progression. So like you get Tasha's replacement features. If you've taken the Deft Explorer path, you'll get those features automatically on level up. So all fully integrated, fully automated if you're playing the Tasha's Ranger variant, which is very, very useful. So there you go. That's my example there of leveling up a Ranger to level 10 using the Tasha's variant rules. Hopefully that's something you all find to be very, very helpful and very useful. Let's talk about spell summons. So maybe it's not an appropriate spell for my Ranger, but I'm going to ignore the rules for a moment, and I'm going to go to spells, and I'm going to grab a summon spell. So I'm going to grab, say, Summon Beast. Let's show how this works when you're playing a class that has these new summon spells. I cast the summon spell, and I'll ignore the fact that I don't have a spell slot for it, but that's okay. I can choose to place my summons as part of the summoning spell, and I get a choice of what I'm summoning: an beast of the air, beast of the land, or beast of the water. I'll create a beast of the land, and when I begin concentrating on my spell, it goes into a UX where you choose the placement of your summoned creature. So I'm going to put my beast of the land here, and it becomes a summoned creature which I can now control as the ranger. And so all of the summon spells work in this way. Now this one I think is certainly inappropriate for the ranger, I think. Although I say that and then I may be wrong. I don't know. Summon Celestial. I don't think ranger gets this one. But anyways, suppose I use a Summon Celestial spell. Ignore the fact that I don't have an available spell slot because I'm cheating at this point. And I can choose to end my concentration on Summon Beast, and I can choose to begin concentration on the Summon Celestial, and I can use that to summon a Celestial Avenger. And so all of the summon spells in Tasha's and some of the summon spells in the core SRD now work this way, whereas there's this summon prompt and confirmation of what you're summoning that makes it really easy to bring your summoned creature into the battlefield. So that's something that's really exciting in Tasha's that is a great new feature. Another thing I'm excited to showcase from Tasha's is the Artificer. I have an example Artificer here. So here's a level 5 Artillerist. Of course, all of the Artificer subclasses are supported in TCOE, but I can show some really cool things from the Artillerist. And I'll stay on the summoning front for now. So suppose as a level 5 Artillerist, I want to summon my Eldritch Cannon. I consume the available usage of that feature, and I can place a summon, a Flamethrower, Force Ballista, or Protector. I can also choose the size of that summon, whether I want it to be tiny or small. I'll do a tiny one because I think I like the battlefield management of the tiny summon a little bit better. So I can choose where to place my Flamethrower, and of course if it's a tiny creature I can put it in one of the grid space corners as well if I want. And so now I have this Flamethrower that I've just summoned using my Eldritch Cannon as the Artillerist. Another thing that I can show on this Artillerist is an example of the new enchantments feature in action. So Artificer is a lot about managing your infusions, managing your enchantments. And so one of the things this Artificer has is, suppose, the enhanced weapon or the enhanced arcane focus infusion. If I use the enhanced arcane focus infusion, then in the chat card, you'll see that there's a special chat dialogue for this arcane focus infusion specifically, which allows me as the Artificer to take one of my items that I want to enchant with this infusion. Say I want my quarterstaff to be the arcane focus. I can take my quarterstaff, drop it in there, and then my quarterstaff has gotten an active effect which manages its arcane infusion. That gives the bonuses that arcane infusion provides. It also is something that can be managed later. So at any point later, if I use the enhanced arcane focus again, I can remove that enchantment from the quarterstaff and restore it back to being a regular staff. Now this enchantments framework that we've built, it's great for Artificer infusions. It's also great for things like Rune Knight runes, and so we use it in multiple places where a class has a feature that they're able to augment an item that they have with a temporary bonus. And so this is a brand new system in the base D&D 3.2 release, but it's specifically implemented in Tasha's with the actual content and rules to take advantage of it, with things like the Artificer, things like the Rune Knight, etc. I have other types of infusions as well. You probably get the idea at this point, but if I do my enhanced weapon infusion, I get a separate card. I could make my short sword an enhanced weapon while my quarterstaff is an enhanced arcane focus. I can maintain those separate infusions, and if I go on my character sheet at any point, if I go to the infusion itself, I can open the item card for that infusion, and if I look at its details, I can see there that it has an active enchantment. I could configure that enchantment if I wanted to, configure its details. I can see that the quarterstaff is the current target of this infusion's enchantment, and I could also release that infusion directly from this card if I didn't want to do it from chat, so I could drop the enchantment on that quarterstaff directly from the enhanced arcane focus feature as well. So there's lots of like easy ways to take advantage of this feature. I should only have 2 currently that I've used, but that's because I kept doing it and undoing it, I think. But yeah, amazing stuff with the new enchantment things, and it can do things like change the weapon bonus or add bonus damage or do other things like that. And I can show a little bit of that in action in terms of, suppose I take the artillerist and instead of the level 5 version of this character, maybe suppose I pull out the level 10 version. If you're a level 10 artillerist at this point, your features have upgraded where your Eldritch Cannon now has the explosive cannon trait. And so, for example, when I deploy Eldritch Cannon as a level 10 artillerist, I get to choose between the explosive summon variants instead. And so it's really smart about the progression that it has. And for example, my explosive flamethrower has the increased hit points and the increased armor class and features that improved variant of it has. So like I can, get these bandits with my explosive flamethrower that I've just summoned. I also can use the special feature of the explosive cannon, of course, to place a sort of a blast template wherever I want. So yeah, really seamless character progression and really rich automation and integration for the Artificer class. If you want to play an Artificer, there's really no good way to do it in Foundry VTT except with this module. It is really exceptional the way that we've implemented it, and it's really fun to use. So definitely encourage picking it up. And let's see, what else do I want to showcase about Tasha's? There's so much more in here. I don't have time to spotlight everything, but I can show a quick thing that's really amazing about spell-wrought tattoos. That's another key Tasha's feature that's new. So suppose I open the spells compendium, and I'll take a spell like, let's do Dream. That's too high level to be a tattoo. Let's do Tattoo of Summon Shadow Spawn. That sounds very cool. So for any spell, whether it's in the Tasha's compendium or in the core SRD compendium, if you have TCOE installed, when you right-click on the spell, you can do 2 things. You can either create a spell scroll of that spell. So for example, I'll just make a scroll right now of Summon Aberration. And when I create that spell, it goes into my items tab, and I've got a spell scroll of Summon Aberration with all of the correct details configured. This is an improvement over the spell scroll creation process that existed previously in the D&D system. The other thing that I can do is when I right-click on a spell, I can click Create Tattoo. And this pulls up an interface for creating a spell-wrought tattoo. This is used with Tasha's Cauldron of Everything exclusively. I can read the rules very easily for what a spell-wrought tattoo involves, and I can take my spell, I can inscribe that spell into the tattoo, I can configure its details, and then when I click Create Tattoo, I get the item of the spell-wrought tattoo of the appropriate spell-wrought tattoo type. And I can add that tattoo to my character as then a piece of equipment that I have, and I can use its charge to perform the spell. So for example, I'll use the spell off of the tattoo, and I have the opportunity to consume it, to consume its usage, to create the shadow that it summoned, and of course that tattoo was destroyed in the process of consuming it because it was spell wrought and not a permanent tattoo. So amazing automation and useful interactions as part of that system that I think it's really polished, and it's really an impressive set of features that really improves the automation level of the D&D system while also adding all of these exceptional like special features that are Tasha's specific. So yeah, amazing stuff in TCOE. In the interest of time, I need to stop explaining TCOE features, otherwise we're really going to be here too long, but definitely encourage you to check it all out. On the webpage for Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, you can read more about it. It's available for $29.99, which is a really affordable price for the immense amount of value that it contains. Oh my goodness, I didn't even show all the creatures. I gotta do that. I said I couldn't spend more time on it. I can definitely spend more time on this. This is like one of the most amazing selling points here. Not only does TCOE have all of this, but it contains a huge number of special creatures, all with artwork and tokens that you cannot get just with the SRD. And so since we don't have like a monster manual available as premium content for Foundry yet, this is the first and best place to get a ton of really iconic D&D creatures like a Beholder or a Death Slod or a Gibbering Mouther or a Mind Flayer. And so these creatures are available with full integration for the dynamic token builder, all of their stats, all of their features, all of their abilities fully available. You can't get these in the SRD. And so it's an incredible way to augment your game with all of these things that now integrate with the dynamic token ring feature. For example, like when this Mind Flayer takes damage, you get these really satisfying like damage number flashes on the ring. All the other ways that the dynamic tokens work, not to mention the full-size artwork for all of these that you can show your players to let them know everything that they're up against when they come face-to-face with these terrible beasts. So yeah, amazing value that you get all of these creatures at the same time alongside all of the Tasha's content, but since they're... Here's the truly gargantuan Tarask, of course. As well as, I think the Ancient Red Dragon is like probably the biggest token in here because of its wingspan. I'm gonna see if yeah, the Ancient Red. Oh my gosh, that's unfightable in this environment. We need a larger arena to have this battle. But yes, all of that stuff is available in Tasha's as well, which is really like a tremendous added value to the $29.99 purchase price, which is eminently reasonable. So yes, there you go. That's an overview of some of the stuff that's available to you in Tasha's. Let's move on and talk a little bit about PBSO. So I've just been sort of showing some maps from Phandelver and Below. Of course, Phandelver and Below came out earlier in the year through our partnership. But I do want to emphasize that PBSO is V12 compatible. It is compatible with TCOE. All of this content you can use in concert. You can use it all together. Yes, what else am I going to say about PBSO? Okay, it's V12 compatible, but much like the Pathfinder beginner box, we are treating Phandelver and Below as the first D&D content that we are going to prioritize a V12 feature release for. So we're going to be starting work on that, well, right away, basically, and we're hoping that sometime in June, we will release a V12 feature update for PBSO that includes new V12 specific features like scene regions, audio effects, new canvas scene environment effects. And so all of these things, like, suppose we want to, there's so many things that like we could do to improve upon the functionality of PBSO that we can now do because we have access to V12. So for example, like in this Indigo Sanctum, we can have an opportunity to like redo the environment. We can have an opportunity to redo the lighting so that it takes advantage of new environment lighting options for like configuring the tone and the look and the feel of the whole scene, including all of the tokens in it. We can do all kinds of things that we couldn't do before in terms of like making these scenes even bigger and better with all of the new V12 features that are available. So that's not done yet, but that will be available hopefully next month in June. There'll be a V12 feature release for Phandelver and Below. Now, the next thing on the D&D front is I'm sure you're all very eager to learn a little bit about like what's coming even further down the line. So now that PBSO is out, now that Tasha's is out, what's next? And of course, what's next for D&D in general is a upcoming year of rejuvenated content. So the 2024 Player's Handbook is going to be launching on someone's probably going to tell me to turn down the music a touch, so I will do that. The 2024 Player's Handbook is going to be launching on September 17th. And it will launch on September 17th with Foundry Virtual Tabletop support. So on September 17th, you will be able to get the new 2024 PHB for Foundry Virtual Tabletop. And that 2024 rule set for Foundry VTT will be initially available via that purchase. And that will be, at least at first, that will be the only way to play the 2024 rules in Foundry, because the remaining piece of that will be available broadly once the revised SRD is available. Now, that revised SRD is available anticipated next year, so sometime 2025. So there will be a window where the new 2024 rules will be available through the premium purchase of the Player's Handbook, and then that will be available day one purchase on September 17th when the book drops. So feel free to bookmark that date on your calendar and look ahead towards playing the 2024 edition of D&D on Foundry VTT in September of this year. So that's a big confirmation I can give you all on that. Another confirmation that I can give on terms of like what are we doing next is what's next for adventure content in D&D. Now, Phandelver and Below is a big adventure. It took a while for us to put it together, so we're not able to release adventures of this quality and depth all the time. They do take work, and so it's going to be a little while until we're able to release our next piece of adventure content. But I'm able to confirm for you all, just so that you can think ahead and plan, that the next piece of adventure content that we're releasing for D&D will be Tomb of Annihilation. We've chosen Tomb of Annihilation for a number of reasons, but we feel that Tomb of Annihilation is a game, is a campaign that will work exceptionally well on Foundry VTT. So it's partly about the content, it's partly about what's in the book, but it's also partly about the quality of the VTT experience that we can offer, that we think TOA is going to be really fun to play on Foundry VTT. We think it will have a tremendous quality of experience associated with it. So yes, I know there's lots of D&D content that you would like to play, and if I had a magic wand, we might release all of it, but we are limited. We can only work on a few things at a time, so there you go. That's what you can look forward to, and that won't be the last adventure that we do, but that will be the next one that we do. So yeah, look forward to seeing that, and not just look forward to it, but you'll see some things that will be new. Not necessarily like new content in the adventure, but the way that we will implement certain things in TOA, especially since it's going to be a V12 release. We're going to have mad fun building all of the areas of Tomb of Annihilation with support for scene regions and automation and all of the like levels of premium flourish that can happen with that adventure. And so it's going to be really cool to see all of the fun ways that adventure shows up in Foundry VTT. We don't have an ETA to share. I think we are kind of rigidly committing ourselves to the September 17th date for the Player's Handbook. And since that is an inflexible date, we want to make sure that Tomb of Annihilation has a little bit of flexibility. So Tomb of Annihilation is in the when it's done category, which will be several months away at least. We'll be able to provide a more meaningful update when we get closer to a potential date there. But yeah, TOA will definitely be like a when it's done later this year. Okay, whew! That was a lot of awesome stuff for D&D specifically. Who's ready for some more things? I think I should take a break and do the giveaway now before I get into this final couple little bits. So I'm going to take a quick break, just 5 minutes. We'll take a quick AFK, use the restroom, get something to drink. We will be back. We'll do a giveaway. There's more stuff yet to come, where we're going to be talking about our own first-party content, and this is something that you don't want to miss. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All you have to do to be entered for the giveaway is to be here and be present and be logged in to Twitch. So just make sure you're logged in, and we'll give you about a minute to do that. And then a minute from now, we'll pull a list of people who are logged in and watching the stream, and you'll be automatically entered into a giveaway to win some of this content that we've been showing on stream today. So don't go anywhere. There's more announcements to come, and I will be back in about 5 minutes with that giveaway to go. Be right back. I'm back. I kept this to be a quick break because I didn't want to lose any of you. I'm back with the giveaway. I've got everything ready to go. 471 of you are here in chat and logged in and eligible to win some cool prizes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 3 or 4 winners, and each winner I'm going to give you the choice of a Foundry VTT license key or a piece of premium content that we have had a first-party hand in creating. So that could be Demon Queen Awakens, House Divided, Pathfinder Beginner Box, Pathfinder Abomination Vaults. I'll even throw a Kingmaker in there as for those of you who want to go for the big bucks. Did I say House Divided, Demon Queen Awakens, Fandelver and Below, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, anything that we've had a first-party hand in making, the Harrow deck, the Bestiaries token pack, any of that, you get your pick of whatever you want to grab out of the bag. So we'll draw a couple of winners, and yeah, this is a big one to celebrate our anniversary. So I'll be a little bit more generous this time around than typical. So everyone, channel your good fortune, and I wish you luck. And drum roll, please. And let's go ahead and let the wheel of fate decide who is our first winner. Oh, this animation is extra slow. It's because there's too many people in this roll table. Come on! What if this is a bug and it just keeps... Oh! I was like, what if it keeps going forever? Ultimate X, number 443 on the 471. Ultimate X, you are the winner of the first giveaway. If you're here, please say something in chat and accept your prize. For the winners, you have 2 ways to confirm your winning. You can either DM me directly on Twitch, you can DM me on Discord at Atropos, or you can DM Anathema on Discord. You'll get through to Anathema faster than you'll get through to me. Anathema 3668. I will respond at some point later. Second drawing. Is this going to be as fast? Oh. We'll take our time. We got nowhere else to be. There's so many entries in this roll table, the actual animation is slower. Drumming, please. Oh, I'm gonna get tired. Kalad02, a well-deserving winner, Kalad. If you're here, you are the winner of the third drawing. Third winner, Galactic Glitch VT. My forearms are going to be tired by the end of this stream. Galactic Glitch VT, if you are here, you are the second winner. Kalad, or the third winner. Kalad, you're the second winner. I don't know if we've gotten a confirmation from any of our winners yet. Someone can keep me honest on that. But let's do one more, and we'll see. Last chance for all of you. Keep your good vibes rolling. One last roll on the Wheel of Fate. It's gonna go all the way to the last one this time. I know it. I know it. If your name starts with Z, you're in luck. I feel this is gonna be a Z name. Oh, it's going past R and S. Where will it land? It's past you. Wild Jackalope. It did not make it to Z, but close. Wild Jackalope, number 455. You are the last winner. Drumming tempo is very sus. I was getting tired, Astra Necrolith. You have to cut me a little bit of slack. Let's see. Wild Jackalope, if you are here, you are the last winner. Ultimate X no longer appears to be in chat. Well, that is very unfortunate for them, because they get crossed off the list, which means that the door is open for someone else. This is going to be a calm, peaceful, relaxing draw this time. No drumming. SZ, easy does it. Easy does it. Thank you, Kaod. I appreciate the proxy drumming. Easy does it. You are the winner of the fourth draw. So all four of you, what you can do is you can DM me on Twitch, you can DM me on Discord, or if you want to get this taken care of extra fast, you can DM Anathema on Twitch, or sorry, on Discord rather, and Nath will get you sorted out. So congratulations to the winners. If you have any questions about like refreshing your memory about what the eligible or available prizes are, we will bring you up to speed when you message us. And I hope you get something out of this that really excites you and gets you as excited about playing a game in Foundry as we are about all this content that we're making. So congratulations to the winners. For those of you who did not win, I hope it has not soured your appetite on the rest of the stream, because we have some really exciting things to cover with the rest of our time. And so I'm going to go ahead and get into that now. The first thing that is, or the next thing rather, that is on my list is to talk about first-party content. So let's talk first about A House Divided, which is our most, our larger of the two pieces of first-party content that we've developed. So for those of you who are familiar or not familiar with House Divided, it is a adventure for levels 1 to 10 for D&D that has a focus on gothic horror and familial machinations and otherworldly arcane rituals and all kinds of good intense kind of vibes in this adventure. It includes so much. It is really comprehensive. It has wonderful artwork, very high quality maps and tokens and everything. So I'm going to import that here and give you just a quick glimpse of what all it contains. Now specifically, I am importing House Divided version 2.4.1, which is available now and is fully V12 compatible. So those of you who already own AHD, good news, it is all ready to go for you with full compatibility. And for those of you who are thinking about what you might want to play next, this would be a phenomenal time to play this adventure, because it is fully compatible with the latest, greatest version of Foundry VTT, of D&D. It's all ready to go for you, and it is a really superlative adventure. I mean, I know I'm supposed to say that because we made it, but honestly, like, I'm very, very proud of the production value and the quality of this adventure, and I think that those of the folks that have played through it, I think, have had very similar things to say. And so I really hope that if any of you are looking for like a really fun, really immersive, really engaging adventure to play for your next D&D game, definitely check out A House Divided. It is in a great place to be the one that you enjoy next, and there's some really, really memorable and really amazing experiences as part of this adventure that I think is a lot to look forward to. So works great with V12 with all these new features and functionality, and it's in a great place to enjoy that. Now, it is a V12 compatible release, meaning we haven't gone through and done a V12 feature update for it yet that will add additional things like scene regions, like new audio options, some new things like that. But that will be coming. You don't need to wait for that. There's no reason to wait to get started, but there will be a V12 feature update for House Divided also coming in the very near future. So yes, really wanted to mention that and to hype it up a little bit and to re-emphasize that it's on sale right now. So definitely consider checking out the sale for AHD and, you know, pick it up while it's at a discount. And yeah, I think you will not regret it, because it is a really exceptional piece of content that your group and you will really enjoy to play. So that's my pitch for AHD. Just in terms of setting expectations, the V12 feature update for it will come later this year, but the V12 compatibility update is already out, so you're good to go. House Divided is available for purchase from our website. Like I said, it's currently on sale. It is discounted 20%, as with all the rest of our stuff, so it currently costs $32 USD, which I think is a remarkable value for how expansive it is in scope. All right, so that's House Divided. That's an update there. I wanted to start there because I have a little bit of a more comprehensive update to share for Demon Queen Awakens, which is our other pre-existing piece of first-party content that we've released. And so let me bring you up to speed to refresh your memory on what that entails. Demon Queen Awakens is a somewhat shorter adventure that has joint support for both Pathfinder 2 and for D&D. Now, Demon Queen Awakens now has, or perhaps later today will have, I'm not sure exactly when it's getting released, but not only a V12 compatibility update available for it, but a V12 feature update available for it. So I'm going to import Demon Queen and pull up the beautiful and immersive and compelling dungeon of the Vault of Aten, and you can see all of the amazing stuff that's in here with Demon Queen. We've added a ton of stuff. We've added scene region support for things like traps, where like you're like this water slide where you're funneled in, minor spoilers, this trap that shoots your token through down the water slide into Ansubek's arena. We've also added for every creature in this adventure, every creature in the adventure now has portrait artwork by Joshua Sarver to support that, and that portrait artwork also gives you the option of whether you want to play this adventure using dynamic token ring tokens, or if you want to use the top-down token artwork that shipped with the original adventure by Devon Knight. So every actor in the adventure has dual support for either top-down tokens or token ring style tokens, depending on which you configure, and you can set your preference for which it should use at the point where you import the adventure. So it's really great to have that flexibility. I know different people like different things or have different styles, and so if you prefer Circuitrage to be a circular token ring token versus a top down, you have that flexibility now. Both styles are supported depending on your preference. We've also updated the adventure to use new V12 lighting and environment configuration. Things like traps, instead of just drawings, they are now scene regions that have automation attached to them. So for example, if I take my artillerist that I created earlier in the stream and I wander over the trap, I am shot down the slide because the floor collapses beneath me, and I'm shot down the slide into Circuitrage's arena. So like these little like bits of automation, things like the sundial, things like Nekbelamun's arena now, where you can, you know, drop down to a lower elevation for falling into the pit. I think there's actually a macro for this that I should be using, and I'm just not because I'm bad. Toggle pit token. There we go. Yeah, so, you know, in terms of falling down into the pit, kind of giving you the appearance of like dropping down to your doom, the verticality of the scene, that's something that's new. Like you can actually support that better now in V12. All kinds of things. Every creature has this new artwork and these new tokens. Other key talking points on Demon Queen is that it so in addition to the new art, in addition to the new tokens, we improved a couple of things with the scenes along the way, and of course also the finale. Minor spoilers. I don't, you know, if you're thinking about running this and you don't, or you're running this as a player, you know, maybe avert your gaze for 5 seconds or so, maybe 15 seconds. I'm going to show a little bit like the later stage of this dungeon. After you make it all the way through the vault, you get to Nehebkalat's prison, and you have a really climactic, amazing final encounter with the Demon Queen herself at the end of the adventure, and again can be either a circular portrait token or the top-down token. Oops, that accidentally got configured as permanently circle stamp, but that's okay. There you go. Or the top-down token, depending which you prefer. The choice is up to you. And then, of course, great interaction with the mechanics of the final fight as well. So, see someone asking, any hopes for Demon Queen for PF2E? Your hopes are answered, because Demon Queen already is dual compatible for both D&D and Pathfinder 2E. So this adventure that I'm showing right now, the previous one was only, House Divided was only D&D, at least for now. Doing a PF2E conversion for that one will take some time. So we have to figure out like when and if we could ever do that. But the Demon Queen that I'm showing here now does support both D&D and Pathfinder 2, either as you prefer. So that's the big update for DQA, is that this DQA update, and it's going to be version... what's it going to be? I don't know. Nath, what's going to be the version number of the V12 feature release for DQA? 4.0? I'll let Nath let people know of like when to anticipate this dropping, but it is going to be imminent. So today, tomorrow, this week for sure, the 4.0 release of Demon Queen Awakens will be available for you to play and to enjoy. So definitely look forward to that. It's a really good value, I would say, as you can usually play it, I would say usually 3 or 4 game sessions, so it's good for sort of a short form like mini campaign, or you can weave it into alongside your existing game. And I think it's a really great deal on sale for $16. It's you really can't beat the quality of this Demon Queen Awakens little like 4-part adventure for $16. Definitely highly recommend it. So that's where we are with our first party content, House Divided and Demon Queen Awakens. And so now the time is to ask ourselves, like, what's next? We created DQA, and it was a great success. It's a great adventure, but it's sort of a 4-part adventure spanning a couple of character levels. So, you know, maybe it's 16 hours of gameplay. We said, you know, what if we do something much bigger than that? And so we did House Divided, spanning 10 character levels and hundreds of hours of gameplay. And then we asked ourselves, what if we do something much bigger than that? And that's what I'm very excited to share with you for the first time today. So, for the past years, actually, we started working on this back in 2022. Kaora and I specifically started working on this back in 2022, and we began working on something entirely new that would be our next big thing. And we've since then assembled a tremendous creative team around it. And so we have a talented team of many of the very best creators in the TTRPG space that are working with us to make something that we think is really, really remarkable. And so I'm really eager at this point to announce to you all what is Ember. And to learn more about what is Ember, you can go right now to foundryvtt.com/Ember. And our announcement page is available now for you to look over, to peruse, to read about, to discover. And this is a first reveal of what is Ember. Ember is a digital role-playing game. It's a unique experience crafted specifically for Foundry Virtual Tabletop. It combines the hallmark traditional values of a tabletop RPG with next-generation, groundbreaking, and immersive features of a digital game. And so we're not going to show much, or we're not going to show Ember today. You're going to have to remain patient for that. But you're going to be learning a lot more about Ember over the coming weeks and the coming months. And it is one of the very best things that we've ever done. And I think, it might be the best thing we've ever done. I think Foundry VTT is great. Ember is very, very special. And so I want you all to please take a look at the Ember page and get a sense of some of the amazing things that it includes. It has a fantastic focus on open exploration, on tactical gameplay, on an original approach towards character creation in an entirely novel and imaginative setting. It has a brand new set of tools for theatrical narrative gameplay that brings a really new and fresh and kind of unprecedented level of immersion to non-combat encounters. And Ember will be on Kickstarter later this calendar year. So that is a somewhat unconventional thing for us. We haven't done that before, but there's some very good reasons why that is the right step for us to take. And I really hope that you'll be excited. You'll both to learn about what's on the page right now for Ember, but also over the coming weeks, over the coming months, we'll be unveiling bit by bit, one step at a time, pieces of what makes Ember so special. So in the lead up to the Kickstarter, definitely give a follow on this webpage so that you stay in the loop. Keep an eye on our Discord server where we'll be posting announcements. There's now a discussion channel open for you to join in speculation or questions or discussion about Ember and what it might be or how fantastic it's going to be. But do keep an eye on this because I think it is something really remarkable. And so that's the big announcement that we've been building up to today. And I know you're all probably full of hundreds of questions about what you're seeing on this page or what it means, but those are questions that, feel free to ask. Be accepting of the fact that you may often get you'll have to wait and see answer. We want to be careful to kind of dole out a little bit of information at a time. And so you're not going to get everything all at once. It's going to be a drip feed that we hope to keep you interested and engaged. But this is something that is really special, and I know that you're all going to be amazed and that you're going to love. So thank you for keeping an eye on it and for supporting us in making this. It was like a big bet that we made to kind of go this big and this ambitious on something, and it's been really hard to keep it a secret for as long as we have. So I'm amazed that we made it to today without actually announcing it yet, but I'm so happy, and the team working on it I know as well is going to be so happy that this is now something that you all know exists, and definitely get hyped for everything that this is going to bring. It's a whole new level of just about everything. So that's the announcement, and that's where we're going to end for today. Join us in Discord. Join us on Reddit tomorrow for Ask Us Anything. We'll be eager to take your questions. Discord, Ask Us Anything on Wednesday. And thank you very much for supporting everything that we're up to in Foundry Land. Really appreciate you all and your support and your interest and keeping pushing us to be, better and everything that we're doing. So thank you so much for your support. If there's anything that you can do, if you think you have friends in your communities that might be excited to learn about what Ember's about or the fact that this project exists, please share. That is one of the most valuable things you can do for us right now, is to help spread the word that this project exists and encourage people to keep an eye on it. And you will be hearing a lot more about it very soon. So thank you all so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your holiday for those of you in the US, or for those of you abroad for whom this is a holiday. I hope you're having a wonderful day, wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining us for this stream, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, we'll be back on Friday for our team Free Project Friday, and I hope you'll join us for that. But until then, cheers, happy gaming, see you next time, farewell.